Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Cecelia here. I am your host, Next Level Real Estate Investing. And I am super, super duper excited today for more than one reason. But I am still reflecting on our last summit. And on that summit, I had a a real estate individual there, a boss lady, a developer, a first time home buyer advocate. She's doing some amazing things. And I just said to myself, I gotta bring her back. I gotta bring her back. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring on my guest for Table Talk on Thursday, Miss Brenda Dixon. Come on over here, boss lady. Sit down.
Hey,
Hey, how are
hello.
you?
Good. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you fine. Thanks for
All right,
joining Table
wonderful.
Talk today.
Well, thank you for the invite. I'm happy to be here just with everyone. Good evening, everyone. Oh, good afternoon, and wherever you may be in the world. Yes.
Yes. I was just saying that I was so impressed with some of the things that you were saying when we did the summit last month, because it's August the 1st today. Where has the year gone? Where has time just been flying on? We're almost out of summer and going into fall, right?
I'm telling you, it's moving. It is moving. In a minute, we're gonna blink and it's Christmas.
Yes, it will be, right? So yes, boss, I just wanted to bring you back, have a quick conversation because as you heard during the summit that we are on this quest for the land, for the development, for pushing the dirt, moving the dirt, and opening up space to put our footprint there and put some sticks on the ground. And so I
Yes,
know that you love that. I know that
I
that is
do.
one of the things that you are doing these days. And when I read some of the stuff that you was doing, and I looked at building R&R, what is that? Relaxation, retirement, and residuals. So in my mind, relaxation is what I love to do. Okay. Uh, Retirement is where I am now, and I'm on my quest to get my doors, continue to build my doors, and then the residuals. That's the mailbox money or the bank money. So you do something one time and get repeated results of income coming to your bank account, correct?
Absolutely. So, I say that I too am in the stage where um my focus is with building the RRR portfolios, which is, you want to be able to relax in your retirement and you want residuals. Okay. So so that you can do all of that, you know, uh, we all have seen, we could go to different stores and whatnot, and we may have seen some there that could gray hair and could barely move, but they're there stocking shelves or greeting
Mm-hmm.
people coming in. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that majority of them are there because of necessity, but not
Mm-hmm.
that they just bored at home. So that is not
Right.
what I want for my
Mm-hmm.
future. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely real estate, um buy and hold rental
Mm-hmm.
income
Mm-hmm.
is a beautiful thing to put towards your retirement portfolio.
Exactly, dear. And we are all at some point either we're thinking about it now, or we if we wake up long enough, we will be there. And then when Coach and I was just talking about this the other day, we are in our third quarter. So at the end
Okay.
of the day, we have identified our X, Y, and Z. And I want other investors, other real estate lazy rock next level, all the people out there to start thinking about what is your big why and what is
Yeah.
it that you want to see as you start to, I call it dial down but not dial out. Dial
Oh
down
yeah.
means, hey, I'm taking a step back. I'm going to be working less, and as my brother said, I'm never going to retire. I love what I do. Okay, well, I love what I do too, but I want to be the one pulling the trigger and saying, I'm not going today, I'm not talking today, I'm not moving out of here today, but my money is still coming through the doors or coming through the
Absolutely.
you know
Absolutely. Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
So,
So
so
that
Bosley, let's
makes
talk about the land. Let's talk about the ADUs. Let's talk about some of the
okay.
things that you like to do. I like this whole build to rent property that has a ADU. That's an additional dwelling unit attached to that. Correct?
Hmm. Correct, correct.
Speak to that for me.
Okay, so the build to rent model is something that's kind of hit the scene, I say probably within the last 3 to 5 years, very heavy. Y-
Mm-hmm.
Um, Big developers, D.R. Horton is doing whole developments where they are building it for institutional buyers, just for them to buy the whole development to rent single family
Mm-hmm.
homes.
Okay.
So they're starting to see a trend with that, because the business minds know that people's going to always have to have some place to live.
That's
And they
right.
also
Mm-hmm.
know, because of the prices escalating much higher than income for the majority or a lot of people, that they will be likely to be long-term tenants before they
Mm-hmm.
be able to buy something, if ever buy something.
Mm-hmm.
So individual investors such as ourselves, we need to put on that same thinking cap.
That's right.
Instead, so building something new, of course, when you're building it, you won't have maintenance for a while, especially if it was built right, of course.
That's right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so because maintenance cuts into the bottom line for
That's
investing. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
so finding the right lot, buying the lot at the best price,
Mm-hmm.
learning how to look for the properties.
Mm-hmm.
It's great if you can find a property that's already cleared, already have the water and sewer available.
Mm-hmm.
um Especially if it had, if city limits, like here where I am in city limits, we have the water and sewer. So finding even a old house like I did that was falling in and had a bunch of zoning violations on
Okay.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and tearing it down, but you already have the water and
Flat.
sewer tap already have been paid for. Because here in
Okay.
our area, lots who don't have that, it's like 10 to 15,000 to get those taps put in. So, I found an old house. I tore it down, and
Uh-huh.
then I hired a contractor to
Mm-hmm.
build. It was a 1,300 square foot home on the front. It was a two-story, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And
Mm-hmm.
then that lot, the zoning would allow for a attached ADU. It wasn't deep enough. The lot wasn't deep enough to have a detached, but it was allowable to do the attach. And they said that the home on the back, where the ADU on the back, um, could not be more than 50% of what the main house was on the
Okay.
front. So
Okay.
each municipality have their own rules on
Mm-hmm.
how big the ADU could be, if you can attach it or have to be detached. A lot of them tell you have to use the same driveway. Everybody have their own guidelines. But the
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful thing is, it's like, even though it's not multifamily, but you're able to put two income properties on one lot. And that
Mm.
just doubles, your income
Okay.
possibility there. And
Yes.
like the one that I built from ground up, of course, the main house is taking care of my debt service
Uh-huh.
for that. And so the
Mm-hmm.
ADU, that's just gravy. That's
Mm-hmm.
free
Uh-huh.
money. And is no debt service, that's just gravy. And I'm able to get 750 off the back, and
Okay.
then from the front, the front after the debt service, that's about 300. So just I'm positive cash flowing $1,000 a month on
Oh, yes.
that one property. And
Yes.
so using that strategy. But yeah, but ADUs definitely is also, in addition to build to rent,
Mm-hmm.
the ADU movement is starting to be very big as well, because even people who, you may already own properties, rental properties, or even your personal residence. You can
Mm-hmm.
check with your local municipalities and see if you can do a detached ADU on your lot. And I know people
Mm.
who does that just on their primary resident. If they got a lot big enough where they can, and if municipalities allow it, they build a ADU on it and they rent that Airbnb, you
I like
know,
it.
or
Mhm.
long term, or to traveling nurses, just however you want to do it. But you actually can do that, um, on some lots, if you know you have to check with your municipalities. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, very very good. So, in doing the project that you did, you found this, or what, did somebody say, "Okay, Miss Brenda, I have this lot right here. You want to take a look at it," or did you stumble
Okay.
across it, or was it one of those kind of, I like to call them the agent sister thing, and they called you up and said, "Hey, you might want to take a look at this before I do what I'm
Oh,
gonna do."
yes, yes, yeah. Well, in this case, a lady reached out to me. Someone from her church told her about I was in real estate when she was sharing that she had a problem property. And those problem properties, you solving a problem for someone, that's where you can get a lot of gain. That's a win-win. So
Mhm,
so she reached out to me. She was an executive of a state. Her and it was her and a sister and a niece that inherited properties, but she solely was trying to take care of things, but she didn't have the temperament to do it. They had two properties. They had one house that
mhm,
was livable and they had a tenant in it, but she hadn't tried to collect rent from that gentleman for 4 or 5 years. She was just very
mhm,
timid, and when he
mhm.
wouldn't pay, so she just stopped asking, and he stopped paying, of course. So, but they were started paying taxes, and she just got tired. Finally, got tired, and she wanted to reach out and see. She reached out to me as a realtor because I've been a
Mhm,
realtor 34 years full time in my area.
mhm.
So she
Right.
reached out and asked if I could help her sell this property. So when she reached out to me, so it was two properties: the house that had a tenant that wasn't paying, and then it had the house next door that had the old family home that had pretty much caved in from not being maintained. So
Mhm,
those, so
mhm.
she came to me with both of those properties, wanted to know if I could sell it,
Right.
and but she didn't know where the niece was. So
Mhm.
so it was a missing area. You'll find that, but it's
Right.
opportunity in that. Yeah.
And so,
So
right. So, Miss Brenda, this is boss lady. This is the reason I asked that question, because we need to let people know that we are investors. We need to let people know that we are developers. We need to know that we let people know that we can help them solve their problem. Because the more problems people have that you
yes,
can assist them with and help them
yes,
get out of certain situations, they will always remember that you helped them, and they will always call you, and then they will
yes,
allow other people to, well, they will share your information with those
absolutely.
persons, and then you can kind of, you're flowing with referrals, because people know that you're the go-to person, and you're going to do the best you can to help them. And that's the reason why I
Yes.
asked the question. But it's so many things I got to ask you today with a
Y-
limited amount of time, because I was
I
looking at
know.
your record, and it says I know how to identify land that you can allow for ADUs, or you can build on. So in your travels, what actually are you looking for when you say looking for land? Are you looking for land to that's already been subdivided or already ready to go,
Mhm.
or it just doesn't
Okay.
matter to you? You're just gonna do everything that you need to do anyway.
Okay, so what I'm looking for, well, and what I'm looking for, and just put a pin in that last point. I just want them to know, even though she came to me as a realtor, I seen an investor opportunity, and I told her, listen, if I can purchase the properties and get it off your hand, would you allow me to do that and not uh, deal with me as a realtor? And she said yes. So make sure when you have an opportunity, when somebody come to you, even as a realtor, if you are a realtor up here, to list a property, you see that it could benefit you, you make sure you let them know that you can help them as an investor. So as
Exactly.
far as the land is concerned, I at the end of the day, you want to make sure, whether it's land or whatever, but definitely land, that you buying it in an area that you know that tenants would, you likely could get tenants of all kinds that will want to live in that particular area.
Okay.
So I love
Mhm.
looking for properties, you know, in up and coming neighborhoods, or where you see they're rehabbing homes or they building homes. Also like to look for properties in in the suburbs where there may be some older established, the older established neighborhoods, but
Mhm.
maybe one or two lots that's empty in between some houses.
Yes.
So you can look that up. You look for the house that have the address, and then you go and look that address up, and then you look to the left or the right, and you can identify the parcel that you saw, and then reach out to the owner and see if they may be interested in selling. But before you
Mhm.
reach out to the owner, what you want to do is, once you identify the parcel, you want to call zoning, give them the tax ID, and ask them if the size of that lot is buildable in that area. Because
Mm.
the zoning would tell you what's the minimum lot size you have to build on, what's the zoning, and based off the zoning, what can you build there. So you want to do your own due diligence first to
Mhm.
satisfy your mind that this is going to meet your needs, and then you reach out to the owner and tell and want to know if they're interested in selling, and already have a figure in mind just in case they say yeah. So you can go ahead and let them know what it is that you would like to offer, and if
Yeah.
they say yes, make sure you have them contracts ready to deploy too. So get everything ready, and then you reach out. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so in moving around in that space, I know that there is an opportunity to, of course, purchase, but purchase, and I know land is different than single family homes or townhouse
Yeah.
condos when it comes down to lending. Are
Yeah.
we buying the land cash and then doing some other things and then flip it over or move it over into a lending type where you can get a loan on it,
Well,
or what
well,
can you do in that respect?
there's different strategies on that.
Okay.
Definitely, there's no harm in, if the land is just sitting there, people are paying taxes that's on it. It's no harm in trying to negotiate a owner financing
Mm-hmm,
um,
hmm.
situation with them. That
Yes.
say, and you be letting them know, one thing, you'll be taking over the upkeep. You can be taking care of the taxes. They're no longer,
Mhm,
they will start bringing in a revenue on that property, a monthly revenue. And maybe it may be somebody who on a fixed income, or disability or anything. A lot of people get land, and they keep the taxes paid because the taxes may not be that high because of the
mhm,
vacant land, but
mhm,
it's not generating them any income. So you show them the benefit of, hey, I have, this land can start generating you a monthly to supplement your monthly income, and you take control of the property. On the, you get a lawyer, they draw it all up, you become the owner, they transfer the deed. It's just that the owner's like the bank, so they're carrying the note. You have to pay them every month, but because you are the owner of the property, and if you get it at a great price, which I suggest you get it below
market value.
value, absolutely.
Mhm,
So you
mhm,
can then turn around and go to the bank and tell them that you would like to do a construction. You want seeking a construction loan, that you
uh-huh.
have a property that you got X amount of debt service on it, but it's worth this, so that equity in the between can stand for something. But the banks, they can do something like that, and it's your individual bank, your credit unions. You go and see what you can get. But then there's non-traditional alternative funding as well. But you being a new investor, your first build to rent, the requirements, putting 20 to 30% down into the deal,
Mhm.
may because you don't have any experience, and they just want to cushion their loss. So it may have to have more skin in the game. But of course, if you got other properties that you can get a line of credit on, and you pull money out of one of your other properties to pay cash for the land, then it's free and clear, and then you can go to the bank to get the funding for the building. So you got different ways there that you can handle
Options.
that.
And
Mhm.
also, boss lady, I'm thinking too, just joint venture, maybe if
Absolutely.
that's an option with someone, and then
Absolutely.
connect with, some of your other uh people, your other colleagues that are doing it, and then use their experience to help
Absolutely.
you move the needle on your piece. And then therefore, as you're doing and you're growing, that's what I say. Always use somebody else's experience and knowledge and bring them along.
Absolutely. That's done every day. People form LLCs to leverage each other, gifts. One may have experience where they already have did several investment properties, building from scratch, rehabbing. So they had the experience, but they may not have the down
Develop.
payment. But
Mhm,
yeah, they
mhm.
may not have the liquid cash that may be needed to put into the deal, but you may have it, or maybe one of you credit score is stronger than the other, but the
Mhm.
other one may have the experience. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can form partnerships in order to leverage um, everybody's gifts. Now, if you're doing this for a long time hold,
Mhm.
then partnerships, if they are with the same mindset of you, that we're going to do this project and we're going to hold it for 10 years or whatever, or you can buy me out or vice versa. But the goal is, when it comes to investment property long term hold, which that's
Mhm.
what I'm about right now, is the
Yes.
residuals. And
Yes.
you just have to really vet who you're going in partnership with, and
Yes.
everything must be in writing. Yes,
Everything
absolutely.
must be right. Okay.
Yeah,
Very good. So, boss lady, so when you start thinking about this whole development and land thing, what would be your advice to new investors that want to learn or get involved with something like this? They have, maybe they've done some rehabbing or some wholesaling or whatever, and they said, "Well, I have a couple of rentals, and now I want to do something else." What would be your advice to them in this development arena and getting started there?
yeah. Well, I definitely say take one project at a time until
Hmm.
you get the learning curve. You learn your mistakes, and
Hmm.
because some make a big mistake on trying to do too many projects at one time, especially when you just beginning and your funds may be not as steady. I mean, you really need to do one, stabilize it, then pull some funds out of that one to do your next one, especially if you're doing it alone. So you're, but definitely being a part of this group, they telling you some of the they're bringing people on to tell you some of the pitfalls not to get into. So you're very blessed to be a part of this movement that they have going for investing. But I just say that you must um, find, vet everything that you're doing, vet the contractors, vet, everybody that's involved in your transaction. Make sure you have everything, all agreements in writing. Anyone's who's supposed to have licenses and insurance and stuff, make sure that you get that. Make sure you make them sign a 1099. I mean, send you a W-9 up front.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many different things. You just need to just try to shield yourself as much as possible, and do one. If you're doing it by yourself, if you joint venturing, that's something else. With somebody else already have the experience, you don't. But if you're doing it on your own, I say definitely do one at a time until you can scale.
And take it slow,
Yes,
learn as you go, and bring others along in your
yeah,
space, even if they're not your, business partners on paper. Still connect with people that have done it,
yeah,
so that you can be in their ear, or they can give you the advice as you're
yes, yes,
going along and
yeah,
as you're learning, so that because they've gone ahead of you and they've done that, so some of the mistakes that they've made they can share with you, so that you don't make those same mistakes, because those mistakes are not free. They cost money, and those change orders and doing things maybe out of order, or not correct, and then you had to come back and redo, unright the wrong, as they say, and then you look back and your funds are dwindling away because you have had to do that. So that's why I like the whole take somebody with you, be in
Oh yeah.
partnership with people,
Oh,
joint ventures,
absolutely, absolutely.
consult.
Yes.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to pay for mentorship, but vet the mentor,
Mm,
especially, here, with Coach and with Cecilia, that they don't, they already vet people before they bring them before you. But
yes.
definitely, if you out on your trying to find other mentors outside of this, you make sure that they show you what they call receipts. But more than that, you really have to trust your gut sometime as well. Sometimes everything look good, but something your gut said, well, you may need to listen to that. But don't be afraid to invest in the mentorship to avoid the mistakes, because those mistakes is going to cost you a whole lot more money than it would have
Mhm.
in investing in a mentorship. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, dear. Absolutely. So, boss, are you working on some projects right now?
Well, the projects that I'm working on right now is, I'm getting ready to take down a lot
Oh,
that I can build both a single family and a attached ADU on. So I'm going to
okay.
be taking down that project so I can create two more rental income in my
Uh-huh.
portfolio. Then
Uh-huh.
I have a few partners that we're looking for tracts of land to build a small, tiny home development. We
Mhm.
looking to not do something more than maybe about 10 or 15
I
and
like
see
it.
how that goes. And then,
Uh-huh.
and then, but we're looking to do this to uh, hold, not,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
to hold. But then we're thinking about maybe also with affordable housing being so terrible everywhere, uh,
Mhm.
doing another development to sell. Yeah, the tiny homes. But right now the focus is residuals at this time. Yes,
Right. That's just all.
yeah,
Like, I wake up with that on my mind. I go to bed with it on my mind. And
yes.
just looking back over the years, I've been in real estate investing and flipping houses for 20 years. And I said to myself, I say to myself over and over, what were you thinking? Because you've had so much real estate in your portfolio, but you're so ready to sell so that you can go do this and go do that and buy this and buy that and go. And I'm like, what, helping family. And I'm starting to, I look at it and I said, what if I had not done some of those things? I would have maybe flipped two, held one, held
Yeah,
two, and just leverage that. I think I would have a massive portfolio right now, and who knows? But
that's
that's
right.
water
But
under the bridge,
yeah, and it's not too late now. So thank
and it's not
goodness.
too late. The scales have fallen from my eye, and that is
You
my
woke.
question.
You woke.
I'm woke. And stay woke, as they say. Stay woke. And it's so funny, Boss Lady, because I know we run out of time, and I so
Okay.
appreciate you coming here. But I am now going to Baltimore right after I leave this call because I had
Oh,
a property with another investor colleague of mine that I've been in relationship with this house and us for over, I want to say, over 20 years. And now she's doing some other things, got married and then moved on. And something said, well, we should just sell everything. And I'm like, whoa, no, let me refinance, get you your money, get you on your way, and I will take this on and I will keep this and I will turn it over, make it pretty. And for the first time, I mean, really pretty. For I want to do it for a veteran or a veteran family because we are trying to do our best to get veterans in homes, and we are moving
oh,
the needle on
wonderful.
that. No
Good.
veteran left behind. Take homeless veterans and put them in nice homes, and I
That's
want this
wonderful.
property to be one for
That
the
is
veterans. I've
wonderful.
spoken to
That is
Pastor Darby,
wonderful.
Dr. Darby, about this, and so hopefully we'll be able to connect and put a
Yeah.
veteran in this property in Baltimore. So so
That's
excited.
wonderful. That is wonderful. I have a heart for veterans as well. Yes.
Yes, so I am a veteran and I love serving, and so I'm committed to the movement. So I just think, and I see that we had and I won't hold you too much longer. I see I
Oh
had
no, we're
she
good.
was making a comment to say something about that they see a lot, wanted to pick up, and Neil probably first steps to locate the owner. Someone is asking. I think that's Maria Thorpe. So I
She
don't
was
know.
asking what was the question?
Yes, ma'am. She was said, I see a lot I want to pick up, and it's near a place that I own. First step is to locate the owner. I guess she's asking,
Oh, yeah.
how do you find the
Okay.
owner?
Well, the first step is there again, identify the address or the tax ID of the property. Reach out to the zoning, ask whatever question you may have on what, can you rehab it or can you do this, do that. But identifying the property and the tax record is going to tell you who the owner is. And
Mm-hmm,
then most times it's at least one address that the tax bill is going to. Okay, so you can
mm-hmm,
take that name that is listed on the tax bill, their mailing address. You can go, I think it's truepeoplesearch.com.
mm-hmm,
It's a free
mm-hmm,
site.
mm-hmm.
um you can just put in that the information you have and see if it maybe generate a phone number.
A
But if
phone
it
number.
don't, you at least have a mailing address, and you can send a certified letter, or either,
Mm-hmm,
if not, yeah, a certified letter, or something that they have to sign for.
mm-hmm,
And people know when somebody take the time to pay for a mailing, it's something important, and they can open it
mm-hmm.
up, and then you can have your handwritten note or whatever. I live in the neighborhood. I want to know if you're interested in maybe selling this property, reference the property, and hey, that's a start.
That's a start. And thank you, boss lady. I appreciate you. I know you got to get out there and handle your business. We are excited because Coach is planning. That's why everything in writing, planning the big girls trip. So I'm hoping that you're putting that on your calendar to come up and spend some time with us in October. So
Yeah.
more
Yes, I would
news,
love to try
more
to.
updates to
I'm
come.
definitely looking into that. Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for always being
Thanks,
there for real estate
everyone.
ladies. Next level, and God bless you. And I will talk to you soon.
Yes. Bye, bye,
Bye.
everyone. Enjoy
Bye
your
bye.
day.
Bye bye.